Weird, but okay. Hey guys. Let's see. I hope you can hear me. I'm hearing like music and wooby woos and that kind of jazz. Look at my little background. Isn't that cool? Let's see if I can show more of it. Wow. It's like a maze, but nobody, nobody's. Hey Eric, how are you, sweetie? It's good to see you. Thank you for coming in. Tonight I wanted to talk about something that I struggle with. Hey Wet, how are you? Yay, okay. Listen in. I'm glad to see you. Actually, while you guys are here, I'm glad that maybe if I can do it now. No, I'm gonna have to do it another time. But I go in, I add mods during streams so that people can share their pages, their lives, and all that. And then I go in and I change it because I'll have all these mods, and then the next time I don't necessarily need that, so I'll just take everybody off, and then but I have my few standard mods that I always keep all the time, and Eric is one of them. And I just am gonna take Eric wherever I go. See? Hit the like button and subscribe while you're here, please. I love Eric. Eric, how are you doing, honey? It's good to see you too, Wit, and run around, do your thing, do what you need to do. I wanted to talk about something that is a struggle for me tonight, and that is agoraphobia. I do have agoraphobia, and I do have a diagnosis of agoraphobia. Agoraphobia isn't actually its own diagnosis. It falls within the anxiety block. And so I have anxiety. I have some PTSD from things that happened when I was a kid. That really just, I think that things happen and you just learn how to live with that. And that's something that I just learned to kind of live around my traumas. I'm glad you're relaxing and resting. I know, no worries, but I love you no matter what. No. So anyway, so my anxieties, I think, started when I was young. And one of those was insomnia. Because all right, Rudy, I'm going to tell you this one time, and I don't want you to mention cosmic again. I think we're getting to a level that's not comfortable when you're coming into other people's live streams. Just so I don't want you to mention her again. And if you do mention her again, I'm going to have Eric or Wit give you the boot. Okay? Because I'm just not going to do that today. Ooh, you were? You got to just... Text me. Okay, anyway, one of the things that I want to talk about that I think has come out of my trauma from when I was a child, and also different things that have come along as an adult. And one of the things when I was young, and I had anxiety when I was young, I just didn't know what the fuck it was. I thought there was something wrong with me. I was just weird. I remember being in like the 5th or 6th grade and thinking about middle school and just being like so overwhelmed. Now, get this, I grew up in a small town in the middle of the city. There were 63 people in my graduating class of high school. And so I grew up in a small town, and I went to most of the like elementary school, middle school, and high school with all the same people. But when you're a kid, you don't think of or know any of those things. And I remember I was in like 5th or 6th grade, and I was thinking that, middle school was going to be coming up in the next few or whatever. And I was just terrified. I remember just thinking, oh my God, I'm not going to make friends. People aren't going to like me. I'm so weird. What's wrong with me? I can't sleep. I can't get control of my emotions. I don't know. I'm just weird. I'm not going to fit in. And it was just this whole huge, overwhelming thing. And that was probably one of the first panic attacks I remember being associated with doing something. Another one I recall having when I was younger was being in the swimming pool and just floating in the pool and looking up and I remember looking at the sky and just taking in all of the sky. And I remember getting really overwhelmed by how big the sky was and how small I started to feel. So there were certain things early on, and I'll talk to you to chat in a second because I saw Eric said something, and obviously I want to know. But I'm trying to stay on track because you guys know my brain kind of goes everywhere and then doesn't return. But so I remember having like anxiety pretty young. And that's just like anxiety of different things in the world. And then as I got a little bit older, then different tragedies or things started happening in my life that stamped PTSD, but then we just kept moving. And then once I was older and starting to try to learn some of my own behaviors, that's when I realized, oops, that it caused me to do these things, right? Or that caused me to behave this way. That's why I act weird. That's why I'm kooky about certain things. And then you have to go through the process of like, well, I'm okay. I mean, you have to learn how to deal with some of those things. And then you have to realize that, okay, it's okay that I'm kooky or a little off about those things because those are reasonable things. Once you're an adult, you kind of can start putting those things in spots of an understanding. Now, for me, some of those things and habits, they didn't change. They didn't change. And maybe they're never going to change. And that's okay because I'm not haunted necessarily by the trauma still. I just have become in a habit. I've just learned these habits that now that I'm this age and along the way have just stuck. And so it's taken me a lot of years, trials and tribulations to kind of figure out what the traumas are, why I have them, and now knowing why I have them. Nobody talked to little Tiffany about certain things that happened. And I'm not saying it was neglectful on their part, looking back. I just think you just don't think about that could be a trauma for your child. So at any rate, here we are, Tiffany trauma, PTSD, and let's see what it has to say. I'm going to come back. But yes, I have PTSD started young for me too. Glad I went to therapy. Yes. And I did go to therapy, and I did learn a lot of skills that helped me through. And then there are just sometimes that, like, no, I don't think anything's going to help me through, right? And so you just kind of learn to live with it, but in a little bit more of a loving way, and instead of such a terrified way. Then I learned to kind of be like, all right, you're okay. We can do this, and let's be gentle with ourselves instead of the whole, what the fuck's wrong with me? I can't sit still. I got to go over here. I got to go here. Am I stuck? No. Okay. There I go. Anyway, so I just wanted to kind of bring that to the forefront, because as the years have progressed, I have gotten agoraphobia, and I'm not quite sure when I got agoraphobia, but I think sometime during, maybe even before my MS diagnosis, I have multiple sclerosis, as you guys know. And there were just some things that were happening to me, and I've talked about it before with MS, where like I would just get so hot and I would just melt like a piece of goo. And I couldn't talk, I couldn't think, I couldn't tell you what I needed. And what ended up happening all of those times is an ambulance came and got me. I'm like losing my shirt. An ambulance came and got me, and I ended up at the hospital for being unresponsive. That happened a couple of times in the mall. I've told you guys that stuff before. And so I think because I was just melting into this pot of goo that couldn't really communicate, and I didn't know my body really. I didn't know what was causing that, how to stop that. And so I think I just kind of started just staying inside more, being more protective. I still am that way now. I mean, now I have to be that way, but it also freezes me, I think, with some of the anxiety, right? Because if it's like really hot out, and say it's a beautiful day and somebody's at the pool and they want me to come and I want to go, but if I go, what if I go to the pool and I'm in the pool and like I just kind of nod out like a junkie, because that's what I'll get it, Eric. I didn't miss it, honey. I started, so that's where I'll go back to. I just kind of want to talk, so I just stay on track. Then I'll talk, I promise. And I do see it and it started, and that's where I'll go back to, okay? I won't forget you. But so then I started being afraid. I didn't realize I was afraid, but I started to just stay inside and make excuses almost why. And I don't know if they're excuses or not, to be honest, because it's truth, but it's also, I want to do it, but I also am afraid. And I'm afraid, like, I went out like that one time I know I've said it a billion times, you probably have heard me, but like I was taking my stepson, me and him, he's 9, me, him, my golden retriever, we're on a little walk around the corner, and Tiffany just goes out. And this is my little special son, and so it's not like he's gonna run to a house and be like, hey, he's just standing there with me, laying on the ground, and the dog is standing there with us. And luckily someone came out and helped us, and then my dad drove by, which was amazing. But the thing is that I think those things kind of scared me into staying more inside, staying closer to home, or even staying with people. This is a thing I've picked up now, that I've realized I've picked up, is now I take I want somebody with me for certain things. For certain things, I want someone to go with me. It's almost like now I need a hand holder. Now I need a hand holder because now I have that kooky brain, and now I'm going to an appointment, say, because really, you guys, because of my agoraphobia, I don't go out and do a lot of things. I go to my appointments, and although, okay, I go to appointments. Now, luckily, now I have a ride. I haven't driven really since 2018. And that's because I couldn't see. I got lost going to my daughter's house. I just got really, really overwhelmed. And I didn't feel safe on the road for other people. You guys know I worked in the emergency room. I've seen too many car accidents, and I don't want to be responsible for that in any way, shape, or form. And if just my brain's a little kooky, my eyes were they were flashing, and so I just felt like it wasn't safe. So again, there's another thing that feeds the agoraphobia, right? Because now I'm not driving, so I don't have a way to go. Now it's almost like, well, that's my other excuse. I don't have a ride, right? So it's like now I've made all of these different things conducive to the agoraphobia. And it's not even that I necessarily made them that way. It's just kind of unrolled that way. And because of my illness and because of things, my family and everyone in my life has made it conducive, and they'll help me. They take me to my appointments. I really try to go to my daughters and see my granddaughter once a week. That's something that I just I got sick of myself with that. And I'm like, you're going to do this and you're going to make every effort. And like stay for the majority of the day, like go early and then come home, when my husband gets off, but stay for a while, more than I would normally be comfortable with. And even though it's my daughter and my granddaughter, it's the stupidest thing. And then also there's the energy level. So that I've been able to commit to and seeing them every day. Or seeing them once a week every day. I'd love to see them every day, but I don't think they'd love to see me every day. And then, okay, so we'll talk about the appointments. So then I have a bajillion appointments, and in my life, one appointment leads to 2 or 3 more. And it's just, if you've been with me for a little while, you know how it goes. And it'll be one appointment leads to 3. So I have an appointment in the morning. Here's how this works. I have an appointment tomorrow morning. So it is 10:23. My appointment's at 8:30 in the morning. Shit. I don't think I'm not going to get, what if I lay down now at 10:23, am I going to get up in time? Now, not only am I going to get up in time, I probably should take a bath before my appointment, right? Or a shower or something. So now I have to fit that into that amount of time. Then I have to pick out my clothes. What am I going to eat before I go? Should I eat before I go? Should I not eat before I go? Should I even go? Do I feel like going? I don't know. Could I put this off? Yeah, I probably could. So I'll call, reschedule, whatever the issue is. And so it's just, it's something that I do to myself. It's like self-sabotage. And I'm well aware that it's a thing. But I, as much as I do try to work on it, and I would think, okay, you know what the things are, let's get them in order. And I don't. And for now, I'm like just trying to the best of my ability. And that's all I'm doing. That's all I can do. That's all I can do. And, but it is frustrating. So I'm trying to do a little bit better. And I just wanted to know if anyone else felt, if anyone else has that appointment anxiety, because it's just, it's a terrible thing. It's like you need to go to these appointments. You know that they'll make you feel better or get things done that you need to do. I need to go to the eye doctor. I need to go to the dentist. But then I have other things that take precedence. So it's like, who's what? And so it's a little bit of a tough balance, but I am trying. All right, let's see. And that's all we can do, right, guys? That's all we can do is just try. And sometimes I'm going to say it's not even my best. I don't have the energy to give it my best. All I have is the energy to give it some. And that's sometimes. That's not even all of the time. But if I can muster up a some, I got to try. And that is hard for me to do. All right, Eric. There you are, babe. With me having high functioning autism and ADHD, SP, sensory processing disorder, depression, OCD, anxiety, stress, and a learning disability, I have anxiety the most. You sure do. That's a lot of anxiety provoking diagnoses. And I hate to call them like diagnoses. It's just an easy way to clump them all together because they're all like really facets of our personality, right? They are diagnoses, but they also are us. And so I don't like to just call something a diagnosis. It's just part of who I am, and either you can deal with it or you can't. And I mean, I work on the things and I appreciate support and those kind of things. But also you can't push me, because if you push me, I'm going to push back. And the more you push, the more I push. And I'm not going to lose. I'm just going to say, because it's me. It's your own personal space. It's the things you're comfortable with. And so sometimes when somebody pushes you and you're uncomfortable, that's when, for me, that irrational Tiffany will come out and be like, get the fuck away from me. I can't go. Get the way, like I was talking to somebody the other day and I was like, oh, if somebody pushes me or pushed me enough, I'll take off. I'll be running naked down the street trying to get away. I mean, that's how much that anxiety will pull. You'll be trying to hold on to me and I'll be taking off all my clothes and trying to get away from you. It's just it pulls that much. And so, Eric, you clearly know what I'm talking about. Okay, we read that. Let's say, yes, I had some severe events happen, some company takeover drama. Had some health concerns. Then went to the SGB DSR therapy. It took forever to get through it. I hope that it's been helpful for you. I know I'm hearing different things, but yeah, me too, Tiff. I'm super protective of who I'm in contact with. Yes. I have been cutting all the toxic people out of my life since about August. Good. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for that. And I seriously hope that gives you some relief, for real. And sometimes that's what we have to do, right? I mean, sometimes, the saying, cut the fat. Sometimes you do. You just got to cut it and reshape it. And I think as adults, I don't know, what do you guys think? Like as adults, I think that we do have to do that every once in a while. It's just like I say, there's a reason, a season, and a lifetime, right? And not everybody is there for the lifetime. Actually, most people are not there for the lifetime. And most people aren't even there for a season, right? So, yeah, I think sometimes we do have to readjust. We do have to look at our relationships and make sure that they are healthy for us, because that's so, so important. Hello, Seventh. Ahoy. Yes, TIF car accidents. I'm super familiar with those from my last job. Yes, and that is something. It just gives me so much anxiety. It's I was talking to my sister yesterday, and I'm like, there are some things, because I can talk to her about things, and she's just like, oh no, that's not the case at all. Everything will be fine. And I'm like, but da, 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 da. And she's like, yeah, but but this said it was okay, and I'm like, yeah, but that's not always the case, right? And she's like, yeah, but it is here. So it's like we're very different as far as that goes. And I think that it is different ways us dealing with our anxieties, right? I'm very much more of like a realist. I want to know really what's going to happen. I want to really be prepared. I want to know the truth, even if it's ugly and scary. And most people, I don't want to say most people, but several people in my circle and in my life, they don't want that. They don't want to know. They don't want to know. And so I have to learn who I'm sharing with and who I am not. Hey, Pizza. Hey, Brian. It's good to see you guys. Pizza, we missed you this morning. I actually made Brian's show, which was actually very wonderful this morning. I love it when I can make it to Brian's show. The thing of it is it's 7:30 in the morning, and it kind of doesn't work for me both directions, because I'm either like just falling asleep or still asleep. But anyway, yeah, so like the car accidents, right? So that's a big anxiety for me. It's an anxiety when I know my family, my friends, my husband's out, he's on his way home, and he's in the car like all day. He drives all over the city, all over the state, actually. And sometimes not even in the state. And so I'm like, could you please tell me where you are so I have some idea? And but so that will kind of give me up, if I know he's out on the road, or like after work time, and I know, like, my daughter used to be on her way home from work, my mom's out and about, and it would bother me. I would really so some things I just have to try to let go. Good, babe. Good. I'm glad. Not so much now. And I'm glad, and that's the thing, is we do go through these ugly, crappy things. But hopefully they are to get us through to the next thing. And hopefully the next thing is better and we are stronger, and we can learn from them. I go through transitional moments where I clean the house. That's another thing. That's another one. I don't know about you guys, but like, if my space is a mess, I feel a mess. Like if my house is all in disarray, or, say we've had company and everything's just this, there, and I don't feel personally settled, like within myself, unless it's picked up. Now, I've had to learn to kind of let that go a little bit, or be more relaxed about that, because I don't have the energy, and I don't always have the gumption to go take care of it right now. like after the holiday, cleaning up, kind of cleaning up everything good enough is a lot as it is, let alone getting it cleaned up all of the way, put away, do. That's a lot of physical. So it's difficult for me to try to balance both. And then that comes into appointments. It's almost like I have that same mentality when it comes to appointments. It's like I'm trying to jiggle. Should I go? Is it that important? Can I make it? And it's so silly because it's things you need to do. And it's also even things that you want to do and love, but you're frozen. And it's really shitty. It's really shitty. I learned a long time ago to just do your own thing. Everything else is everything else. You know what? You always say the best. I mean, I know you're a poet and your poetry is the best, but you also have like the best little one-liners. Everything else is everything else. And that's true. And so sometimes you do have to take on that thinking to try to get through these anxiety-provoking moments, to get to the appointment, to get to go see my granddaughter, any of those kind of things that I want to do, then I have to say, hey, just do my own thing. And everything else is everything else. And sometimes I can do that. Sometimes I can't. Uh-oh. I've just seen some nasty stuff on the road, collision investigations and stuff. I used to see the bad stuff. It's just my thing, getting over it. Well, one thing that I think I've learned over time, or what I've actually been told by my therapist, is that I think when you've gone through certain traumas, I think that is a calming mechanism to deep dive those types of subjects. The law stuff is one. Like FBI files, collision investigations, death investigations. One of my friends, she watches autopsies upon autopsies. I get bored with that. I'm more with you, like, show me the collision, show me the stuff. But that's not always a good thing, because I'll notice, sometimes I'm like, all right, let me just find something stupid to relax, right? And it'll be something like a collision or this or that, which I want to do some just reaction videos, which might include some like collisions, different like bad arrests. But I do notice if I watch a lot of that, it does start to feel a little bit heavy on my heart, and it does exhaust me. So again, it's another trick of balance, right? Oh, you were on vacation. The nerve, David, going on vacation and not taking us with you. I hope that you had a wonderful time, though. I really do. And I don't know where you went, but I think it's pretty much a nice time of year to go anywhere. I've just been super busy with legal stuff, deputies, and trying to raise awareness of the anti-Scientology legal stuff. SPTV stuff is horrible in my opinion. Well, and that's a wonderful thing to say, in your opinion. And I have my opinion, and it's pretty close to yours, but you know that. And so but in the Scientology space, there are so many different things that can be done. And so we don't have to watch people. That's one thing that I kind of realize. I don't have to watch anybody on SPTV to still try to raise awareness about Scientology. Look, I'm not taking Scientology down. That's just not going to happen. And two, I don't have the time, nor the energy, nor the brain space to put everything together to go and I'm not going to protest in my city, and I'm going to tell you why that is. Because I live in a city with an ideal org, which means there are ugly, nasty people there, and ugly, nasty people will get here quickly, right? I already know that. And there are certain things that I do. I don't share that with everyone. And I'm not going to go and stand out in front of the org that's here by myself. One lone 50-year-old lady standing out there. I've already heard somebody's tires got busted, their rims, their all of that. Here I'm standing out there alone. It's not like it's LA where there's a ton of people to show up. There's tons of support and attorneys, and people are well aware. It's not like that at all. And so I'm not going to go stand out there for them to start maybe fair gaming me and all of the bullshit that they do, Whitney. And the reason I'm not doing that is not because of me. It's because they have all the time in the world and they hold a grudge. You know what I mean? They have all the time in the world and they hold a fucking grudge. And so I may not be here. You know, they can fair game me all they want, but then what happens when I'm gone? They're gonna fair game my daughter, my granddaughter, my family. You know, I'm not going to. I feel like that's selfish of me to put anyone else in my family in Scientology's way, and I'm not going to do that. I'll do what I do, and I keep that pretty private. Okay. So that's how I feel about that. And but I do want to say that you guys go check out Multi-Chick. It's at Multi-Chick right here. At Multi-Chick is Whitney's YouTube page. If you're not subscribed, please go subscribe to her. It is legal documents. It is legalese. But she is got it so broken down wonderfully. And it's different. You know, it's different than other things that we've already seen and read. So go check her out. She's very intelligent. She's super smart, and she does her research. So what she's bringing is not BS. She's bringing truth. Okay, let's see what this says. Wait, I'm missing. Okay. Yeah, you did miss a good one. Yeah, you could rewatch it. Yeah. Be on the replay crew. I'm probably blocked on your channel. I'm blocked on most SPTV channels, probably because of the legal stuff. Yeah. Nope. Yeah, you know what? This is because I was kind of like, I don't know that he would. And that is one of the things you guys know I have said for all this time, for 3 years now. I think that I've been posting little videos on YouTube. I have always said I don't want to be part of a group. I don't want to be a mod for anybody or any of that stuff. And so Poet was the first person to ask me, and he is so like, at that time, I'm like, he's the only person on earth I would mod for. He's so chill. It's neutral territory, just like me. But then I saw this, and I think there is something going on. Not because of that's the wrong one. I'm like, because of this, but that was the wrong one. And that's the wrong one too. This one. I'm working with YouTube on a possible hack of YouTube. And I am with you because I also think I got a hack on YouTube and Facebook both. And I've been able to block them, but it's very interesting when they hello gorgeous. Hello Miss Dragon, even if you just popped in and I missed you. I'm sorry I miss your shows. I just love listening to your shows. I did watch you walk up the hill the other day to show the peak of Rainier, and I was looking at all the sage, and the mountains are just beautiful. I live in Ohio, and it is so flat, so flat. I mean, you have to like appreciate a pile of dirt someone's dumped because they're going to spread it out on their land. And I'm like, oh look, a hill. It's very, very flat here. But so I did really appreciate that. And I'm trying to catch you more. I really am. There's some channels and people that I just would like to catch a little bit more and see and listen to. And Miss Dragon is most certainly one of them. And if you guys have not signed up to her, is Eric still here? Eric left. Eric left the building. Eric left the building. Life is all about balance, and it's hard to figure out sometimes the balance is great and it's going nice and smoothly for a while and it's all good, but then all of a sudden something fucking knocks the balance all over the place, and it's like you just got to take yes, my balance is all over the place, but you do have to kind of like shit, all my stuff is everywhere. I have to refigure out this balance and also figure out if I even want to bring all this shit back up. Once I've dropped it, now I'm like, hold on a second. Let me take a peek and like, do I even want to be bothered with this stuff anymore? And sometimes I don't. Eat More Pizza says, I drove from North California to the Seattle area, then to the Boise area. I just got back from the Sequoias. Well, very beautiful. How nice is that? See, I'm on the East Coast, and there are so many places on the West Coast. All my little West Coast friends. Oh, she'll be back in the Sagebrush Thursday. Okay. Wonderful. I'll try to catch it. I have a procedure Thursday, but hopefully I'll be home early and shit, I lost my train of thought. But I'll be back, and then I think I'm just gonna chill. Well, I'm gonna have to just chill all day. So hopefully I'll catch. If I don't catch you live, I'll catch it on the replay. Eric, I wanted to see if you had a Miss Dragon's page, but we'll just do, this is the thing now. It's like you just make everybody a moderator. Miss Dragon, if you want to share your channel, that would be fine. It's like you make everybody well, I am. It's like I'll make everybody a mod so they can share their pages, share their stuff. And please do. I want, if you want to, I want everybody to be shared. Thank you, Eric. See, Eric is he's so good. He's so good. Thank you, honey. Okay, I was a mod for Sterling. We may have been set up, in my opinion. Who knows? Well, you never know, and that's the thing, and that's why I say, and I'm sorry, and I wish that there was a answer. But I have learned, and I think you have also learned. Yeah, thank you, Eric. Yeah, Eric is a wonderful person. I'm getting to know him more and more, and as I get to know him, I just like him more and more. Hey, Seven. Welcome back. Thanks, Eric. Yeah. Thanks, guys, for being here. It's just nice to see us. But what the fuck was I saying? Eric Levi. I saw him at the Viper Room in August. Yes, you did. I believe. Do you have video up on your page of that? What of the show, or when you guys were at the bar? I thought maybe. Yeah, like I'd love to be on the West Coast and just kind of even be able to go up the Pacific Coast Highway. I think is beautiful. And I would love to do that, but I live fucking over here, and what you take up and down is the Appalachian Trail, which is also beautiful. But I've done it, so and it's an interesting drive. There's two ways that, like, when we go to Florida, there's two ways we can go. We can kind of go through Tennessee, or we can go through the Appalachians. And sometimes I'm like, go through the Appalachians. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, look at that. See, Miss Dragon is diagnosed ADHD, right? And Eric has high functioning autism and ADD, right, Eric? Okay, all right. Look at this. We're almost finished. Almost finished. I'm just reading through your guys. And okay, thanks, Wit. Yes. Yeah, I remember it looked like a great time. Wit went to the Lore FM show at the Viper Room. I always like to watch her show. She has just such high energy, and I always like to see what she's gonna wear. It's kind of a thing. Me and Eric Levi have the same first name and last similar name. Yes, you do. They're very close, right? Have you gotten? Has anybody confused you? I saw Eric Levi in the chat one day, and I thought it was you, but then I caught myself. So. Well, we're not in the anti-Scientology world. And this is a new deal. I mean, I know we are, because OSA peek around anywhere, and I have to. Maybe it gives the OSA people something fun to fucking do or look at, or if I were OSA and I had to watch these videos all the time, I would just have to be questioning things. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I would think eventually it would break through a little bit. But I have, I'm off to bed, everybody. Don't have too much fun, and don't do anything I wouldn't do. Okay, Violet, thank you. Have a good night, honey, and hopefully I will see you in the morning. I'm going to go to bed myself. I had a really rough night. You're not boring at all. Poet, you're not boring at all. You're hilarious. You're hilarious. I'll be honest, I get a kick out of what East Coasters call mountains, right? Because you live up, I know. And that's the thing, is that I don't get to see those kind of mountains. That's why I'm like, and we're talking about going to Tennessee just for like a little getaway weekend, and it's not the same mountains either. It's nice. It's a nice little getaway, but I would love to get over there. Now, my husband, he used to live in Colorado, and he wants to take me there, but it's difficult for me to travel for those lengths of time. But yeah, I'm sure you laugh at us because there's not much to see around here. OSA's not really anything much. I've had a couple of silly looking PIs outside my house. That's it. Oh, stupid PIs. Stupid PIs. And the thing of it is you're just wasting your time. Although I'm sure it's uncomfortable knowing that someone is always watching you. Somebody's out there. I mean, it would make me uncomfortable. It would. Yeah, see, a lot of people thought I was Eric Levi. See, I just mixed it up. All right, Poet went to bed. I was above 7,000 elevation yesterday and today. Yeah, see, you were over there by her. You live in North Washington? Is that correct? Yeah, so those are mountains. As I drove through Donner Pass, I was wanting some finger foods, just saying. David. Yeah, those are mountains over there. That's what I'm saying. I'm not too worried about the doxing my diagnosis. It's obvious if you watch me. I don't know much about the Scientology. Yeah. I'm a lifeboat refugee. Well, come on and get in my little dinghy and let's go. We'll go find something fun to get into. Yeah. Well, I'm not sure, 7th. It could be. I don't think so. I don't know. I'll have to ask him now that you said that, Chet. He's sleeping. Oh, you live in Northern California. Beautiful. So see, you guys all live over there by that beautiful lands, and the ocean is not so crazy far. Where, like, for me, the closest ocean's 10-hour drive, and that's Virginia Beach, Virginia. So that's not really close. And it's not even really warm. I mean, it is in the summer. I've gone in the summer for vacation. We went and we camped for a week, but it's not like it's a little different. Well, it's a lot different. And then there's Ocean City in Maryland, for like beach stuff. People do that too. I know that you are. I know that you're moving pretty soon, then Osa will not know my address anymore. Good. And I was wondering if that was part of the problem. And the thing of it is, and that's the thing, is that now that we're making new friends and we're meeting new people, and I really am enjoying it, to be honest with you, because I think I just needed a little break. Well, I just needed a break in a lot of ways that don't have anything to do with Scientology, but just have to do with my life and then my interest in Scientology and my commitment to helping people, and even my financial commitment to helping people has stopped. I'm no longer going to do any of that, and I actually have unsubscribed from many of my from the Scientology channels. I'm not sure who I'm still subscribed to, but I'm not subscribed to any of like the big ones, I don't believe. So good, no break. I'm doing the Whitney Mills case next. I'm just moving house. Good, babe. And that's what you're good at. You're wonderful at that. And Whitney Mills deserves, she deserves someone to tell her truth. And shh, we're breaking it up. And so I think that's wonderful that you're going to do that. I just make sure everyone just take space for yourself, take time for ourselves, do some of the little healing things that we need to do to kind of keep ourselves balanced. I know that's something I really needed to do. It's what is it? April. It's almost May. So it's spring, but it's also like the end of seasonal affective disorder, right? SAD, seasonal affective disorder. And it's a real deal. And I don't know if it's more of a real deal over, like, I live in the Midwest, so it's gray for months, cold, rainy, wet, muddy, all of the bullshit. And so you get really just kind of depressed within yourself, and that doesn't help any of these anxieties or agoraphobia or anything like that, or even feeling very balanced, even in your own house sometimes. So, everybody just stay strong. I think I'll talk about anxiety again here in a little bit, and agoraphobia. I think I'm going to, if you are watching this and if you do have agoraphobia, or you think you do, or you have some things that frees you from being able to, okay. Thank you, David. I mean, I figured it was, I figured that would be a stupid thing for me to think that it doesn't exist anywhere. I just didn't know. But that's good to know because, yeah, most of mine is homemade, which can very well also be my case, right? And it can be several things kind of mixed together, kind of things that you've mixed together with the world outside or the world inside. Even being agoraphobic, I get very frustrated with my house, myself, with my life. I threw a big fit the other night just about being unhappy, which I don't know that I'm unhappy. I just think I was overwhelmed with what I needed to do to participate in Easter Day, which I enjoyed, but it still gave me a lot of anxiety, which weighs on my enjoyment of things. So, thanks, David. Hopefully we will be out of the sad soon. I was going to do the Larry Millette trial in San Diego. I know, but that was postponed until January 2026, so I can do the Whitney Mills one instead now. Good. I would love to read what you do on the Whitney Mills case. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining me tonight, and I'll have us. I'm gonna start I know I always say this. Have a good night, David. Thanks for stopping by. Says, gotta go. Be safe, everybody, and keep smiling. And yeah, I'm gonna go to you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderful night. And oh, I love you, babe. I do. I have faith in you. And I know this, we don't know each other like perfect and even super well, but I think you're a good cookie, and I don't care what anybody says. So everybody have a good night, and look for what's coming next. I'm going to have some interviews coming up and things like that. So stay tuned. And Miss Dragon, I'll see you on Thursday. Everybody have a wonderful night. And thanks so much for being here with me.